news hour, former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan is facing terrorism charges after being accused of making threats against the police and judiciary at a political rally. Supporters have gathered outside his home in the capital Islamabad, warning of mass protests if he's arrested. The High Court has granted Khan protective bail until Thursday. Now, he lost a no-confidence vote back in April, but in a struggling economy, his popularity has surged. His latest rallies have drawn tens of thousands of people.
The former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan has been charged under the country's anti-terror laws. Analysts saying his political success underwritten by Pakistan's influential military and intelligence services, but his removal was inevitable once he lost that support. Whatever the reasons, it remains the case that no Prime Minister has ever completed a full 5-year parliamentary term in Pakistan. Do you believe these charges against Imran Khan are justified?
Well, I think they are somewhat exaggerated. There is no doubt about it. But it is also true that Imran Khan at the moment is in a very combative mood and is prepared to take on every institution and is not abiding by any of the rules which are supposed to be imposed on every political party, in the sense that you have to take permission in order to have a gathering. You are not supposed to sort of criticize the military in a way that he is doing. He is also criticizing the judiciary and the bureaucracy. He is, in fact, taking on the entire establishment and has become extremely controversial. Although he has a huge following, and I think there is no party which stands in comparison to him in terms of his popularity and the amount of people that he can gather at a very short notice.
Now, the former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan has appeared in court in Islamabad on terrorism charges that could threaten his future political career. The cricketer turned politician was charged after he condemned police and judicial officials for the detention and alleged torture of his political aide.
This man still enjoys the support of the public, and there's reason for that. When he addresses people here in Pakistan, he says that all the charges around him, all the controversy around him, is rooted in a political conspiracy.
Khan has accused the powerful Pakistan military and security services, who he once courted, of targeting senior members of his party. During a speech, Pakistan's populist-in-chief took aim at senior police officers and a judge who were involved in the recent arrest of one of his top aides.
Islamabad IG, tum aur DIG, tumhe to humne nahi chhodna, tumhare upar case karna humne. Aap sabko sharam aani chahiye.
After the speech, he was charged under terrorism legislation. It was deemed that his comments amounted to intimidating the country's judiciary and police force.
शऊर का और ये जो बेदारी का जो जिन है, जो बोतल से निकल चुका है, जो मर्जी आप कोई कर ले, ये अब बोतल में वापस जाने नहीं लगा.
They're trying to scare him into backing down.
But backing down is not how Imran Khan rolls. His journey from bowling crease to A-list to Pakistan's political fault line has been a long and winding road. The constant, though, self-belief. His ousting as Prime Minister in April ahead of a global cost of living crisis gave him the chance to reframe himself again.
We start in Pakistan, where police have filed terrorism charges against former Prime Minister Imran Khan. They are the latest in a raft of legal proceedings against the ousted leader. You'll remember Khan was thrown out of office through a no-confidence vote back in April. Since then, he's been eyeing a return to power by holding a series of mass rallies across the country to fire up his base. Khan has been steadily turning up the rhetorical heat in his speeches. Over the weekend, he threatened to sue the police and a judge after making accusations that a political aide was tortured in detention.
They arrested my aide Shahbaz Gill. They kidnapped him. They took him into custody, stripped and beat him for 3 days. I didn't know. After my lawyers visited him, they explained to me how badly the police had beaten him.
Khan's irritation with the government didn't end there. He accused it of attempting to silence him after Pakistan's media watchdog banned live broadcasts of his rallies, saying he's spreading hate speech. This is what Khan tweeted. I quote, "The fascist imported government sunk to a new low today by banning live coverage of my speeches on TV and then blocking YouTube temporarily during my speech at Liaqat Bagh. All this after continuous intimidation of media persons and taking channels off air."
इस्लामाबाद आईजी तुम और डीआईजी तुम्हें तो हमने नहीं छोड़ना, तुम्हारे ऊपर केस करना हमने। और मैजिस्ट्रेट साहिबा ज़ेबा आप भी तैयार हो जाएं। अगर इन लोगों के साथ आपने खड़ा होना तो क्या आपका ख्याल है यहाँ श्रीलंका वाला हाल होने वाला है? अभी तो हम आइन और कानून के बीच में चल रहे हैं, लेकिन जब एक पॉलिटिकल पार्टी हट जाएगी रास्ते से तो जो हालात है पाकिस्तान में, कौन रोकेगा पब्लिक को? 22 करोड़ लोग हैं।
जरा एक खबरदार करना चाहता हूं, अगर मैं गवर्नमेंट से बाहर निकल गया मैं आपके लिए ज्यादा खतरनाक हूं। अभी तक तो मैं चुप करके या ऑफिस में बैठा होता हूं और तमाशे देख रहा होता हूं। मैं अगर सड़कों पे निकला है ना तो आपके लिए छुपने की जगह।
That was Imran Khan 6 months back. You wouldn't really peg him as the prophetic type, but I guess this was always the plan. Imran Khan has styled himself as some sort of a crusader, a people's leader. He wants to be seen as a victim of the state, and Pakistan's government is falling for his trap.